So the dust is settled, and I wanted to make a follow-up video to the June Nintendo Direct because there's a lot to talk about here. There's a lot that we can break down now, and if you haven't seen my initial reaction to the video, you can go check that out on my channel. But we're gonna go no scripts, completely off the cuff. And just do me a favor before we get into it. If you're new here and you vibe with the videos, can you just hit the subscribe button. I'm like hustling here to try to get to 1 million subs, and it's gonna happen if I beg enough. So if you're a new viewer and you like the videos, you know, I do lots of playthroughs. I've played through some of the games that were revealed today, and if not, I'm going to play through them, or yesterday rather. So please, thank you in advance. But I went into this with very low, like extraordinarily low expectations because we're at the end of the Switch's life. Nintendo basically acknowledged that there's going to be a Switch successor revealed in the next, I don't know, 6 months to 8 months because the fiscal year ends in, I think, March. And they said it's going to be revealed sometime the fiscal year, you know, this fiscal year. So it's like potentially going to be revealed in March with a September release date, if I had to guess. And this far into the lifespan of a Nintendo console, you're usually getting a lot of ports, a lot of remakes, you know, things to just extend the life cycle a little bit so they can get to the next generation of games while they're working on all the big titles. So I think a lot of people thought we were just going to get a lot of that, and Nintendo really surprised everybody because 99.9% of the comments were all hyped from what they saw. And if you weren't, you know, let me know in the comment section, what did you hope was going to be there? But this one was important. This was an important Direct, and it hit a lot of different communities. And I'll emphasize more on that towards the end of the video because there's a lot I want to talk about first, and I'm mainly going to go through a lot of the big releases and the highlights. Like, for example, Nintendo just thought it was okay to open with a new Mario and Luigi game and just, like, cold open and move on from that. It's crazy because we are in the middle of a huge Mario RPG renaissance because we got not one, not two, but 3 huge Mario RPG games within the span of a year. They resurrected all 3 of those franchises by bringing Super Mario RPG back, remaking Thousand Year Door, which, by the way, if you're asking about the video on Thousand Year Door, it's going to be a much larger video, like it's going to be the entire game, so you're going to have to wait probably till July. That one is going to be a big one. And then we now have Mario and Luigi, which we didn't think was ever going to happen again because Alpha Dream dissolved in 2019, and I don't think we have any idea who's developing this one, but it appears to also have the highest budget of any Mario and Luigi game yet. I mean, just the visuals, it looks fantastic. Just looking at the character designs, it appears that the villains are going to be like tools or something regarding like Home Improvement. Not the TV show with Tim Allen, by the way. And like all of your allies are like electrical sockets or something like that. That's what I'm getting just from looking at it. But like some of the bros attacks, holy shit, man. Got like cutscenes and shit now. It was just a huge surprise to open with, and I'm glad it happens because there are so many Mario and Luigi fans out there, and I've only ever played Superstar Saga, but I consider myself a fan of the series because I love that game. One of my favorite GBA games. And I'll eventually get to the rest of the series, but this one's gonna be next. And speaking of favorite games and series, they're porting Donkey Kong Country Returns over to the Switch, and it appears to be the 3DS version because there's all the 3DS bonus levels and stuff. I've never actually played that version, so I mean, I've played through the entire game with my friend Tom. We have like an hour-plus long video on it that you can go watch right now. I have a feeling you guys are going to force me to do it again, but play all the new stuff, or 100% at this time, because we didn't do that last time, but we did Tropical Freeze. So, but it is a prominent game that people enjoy, that is now more accessible to a lot of people. I mean, yeah, Nintendo's going to charge full price for it. That's what they do. But it's a great game, and I have a feeling it's kind of just to fill the gap because there is something larger Donkey Kong in the works. I mean, we have not gotten a new Donkey Kong game in, what, a decade? Tropical Freeze came out in like 2013 or 2014. You can't even count Mario vs. Donkey Kong because that was a remake. But one day, DK is going to get his time to shine, and it's going to be a big adventure. Speaking of remakes, we also got some more gameplay and a release date finally on Dragon Quest III 2D HD, plus the bonus announcement of 2 other games being remade. That shit was announced, what, like 4 years ago? And when Nintendo does these directs, they usually approach other publishers for spots, and they ask for something notable. I feel like here they were going after some grade A stuff. That's something we haven't heard anything about in like 4 years. Nintendo's like, all right, we want the trailer, we want the release date. You got anything else to announce? Oh, 1 and 2 being remade also? The entire Erdrick trilogy? Thank you. Which, by the way, this will be my first go with some of those games, so pretty excited for that. But unfortunately, it falls in, like, the period of time where everything is coming out and I have to juggle, like, 100 different games for both work and play. Another neat little announcement we got today that took me by surprise personally and the entirety of the fighting game community: Marvel vs. Capcom 2 in a Marvel vs. Capcom collection. I know that doesn't really sound like much, but that's a huge deal. The reason why is because Marvel and Capcom have been on poor terms when it comes to licensing, but I'm guessing whatever bridge was damaged is now repaired, because Marvel vs. Capcom 2 coming to modern consoles it's big. It's the culmination of years of the free Marvel campaign, which means we might eventually get a Marvel vs. Capcom 4, like a true Marvel vs. Capcom 4. It's wishful thinking, but supporting this release will definitely let them know that people want Marvel back. We got some fun little additions to the Nintendo Switch Online library. I mean, hell, they decided to showcase adding 17 plus games. By the way, I had no idea that Turok was a 17-plus game. No clue. But there really is no excuse for not having Conquer on there if you're doing 17-plus. I mean, that's the first mature game on the Nintendo 64 that comes to mind. Perfect Dark is a great game, but Conquer should have showcased the 17-plus. What else do we have to talk about? Oh my god, Super Mario Party Jamboree. We're finally breaking the mold. I mean, it sucks that it's forced motion controls, but hot take, I like Super Mario Party. Doesn't really bother me. Me and the side quest guys, we're gonna play the hell out of this game. Plus, they're adding 20-player support in some battle royale fashion. I think it looks great. Finally trying some new stuff. Adding some new characters. You can play as Ninja now. I thought that already happened, but I guess I was wrong. I'm just always down for more Mario Party. There's so many playable characters. You have Waluigi, Daisy, Toadette, Luigi, Birdo, Mario, Donkey Kong, Toad, Peach, Yoshi, Wario, Rosalina, Spike, Koopa Troopa, Bowser Jr., Goomba, Bowser, I guess you could play as, Shy Guy, Boo, Monty Mole, Ninja's in there somewhere. You also have this mall stage, which looks kind of cool. The Rainbow Galleria. Also, the maps look much bigger than they've ever been. You have the return of Western Land and Mario's Rainbow Castle. Again, I'll eat up more Mario Party any day of the week. All right, next is a big one. Huge. Took a lot of people by surprise. Legend of Zelda, Wisdom of Echoes, or Echoes of Wisdom, whatever the hell it is. It looks fantastic. And finally, playable Zelda, which I think might be testing grounds for something much bigger. I love the Link's Awakening remake style. I'm glad it's back, and I'm glad they're using it again. The overworld shot makes it look fairly big compared to Koholint Island. So I'm hoping it's going to be open world. And fans have wanted playable Zelda for a long time. Everyone thought that was going to be in Tears of the Kingdom, and that was finally going to bring it to the table, but it did not. I also really like the Tri-Staff and the whole duplicating mechanic and being able to summon monsters. Plus, you have the emphasis on no two playthroughs being the same, so that adds a lot of replayability. It looks neat. Nintendo is just like hit after hit, a lot of big franchises here, in some shape or form. Then you had the big cherry on top. You had Metroid Prime 4. Yeah, it took 7 or 8 years to finally get here and get a glimpse of the game, but it looks really good. Comes out in 2025, so, like, is it absolute end of Switch's life? Is it going to be kind of, like, blurring the line between Switch and Switch 2, like an enhanced version or something, or run better on the Switch 2? Will it just launch with the Switch 2 at this point? But I think the important thing is Nintendo just jumped right in and they were like, we're going to show gameplay, not just CG. They even acknowledged it. They were like, yeah, we know that it's taken a while to get here. We're sorry we had to scrap the entire game and then go Retro Studios. We should have never abandoned them in the first place. But Nintendo had a lot of their big IPs on display. Again, yeah, some ports. But I think myself and a lot of other people thought it was going to be all, if not most, ports. And they surprised us with what was actually one of the biggest Switch Directs to date. Possibly even top 3. So if you go to Nintendo's Twitter and you look in their bio, it says, "We are listening to." And to be completely honest here, I think Nintendo finally has their fingers on the pulse of what fans actually want. And I'm hoping they can keep up that momentum because there was a load of good stuff here. Even the stuff that I didn't talk about. You had a bunch of other third-party games that look pretty neat. They're adding basketball to Switch Sports. You're getting a really shitty $20 Looney Tunes game. But I really don't have much more to say. I'm not going to just drag the video on. I think there was so much good stuff here, and I think I speak for a lot of people when I say that we really didn't have high hopes or expectations for this, and Nintendo knocked it out of the park. We thought it was going to be a huge dry spell just waiting for the Switch 2 to come out, and Nintendo said, hold this new Mario and Luigi game. I still can't believe, 3 Mario RPGs in the span of a year, and a Funko Pop game. Let me know in the comment section what you thought of the Direct. What was your favorite announcement? Subscribe, get ready for me to play some of these games, and we'll see you next time.